old people, young people in daycares, disabled people with autism clinics, and no one's doing anything to stop it. So I think
Bro couldn't even answer that question. All right, though, let's go over to the next controversial video. We'll probably spend, let me see here. All right, shoot, we can get a little bit more support on the show. Shoot, we'll finish this entire video. How long we're at? We're at 2 hours and 45 minutes. Shoot, I went over the original time limit. Why not? See, that's how much I like y'all. I only said 2 hours. I'm here for 2 hours and 45. All right, let's get it back. Let's get back in
Sunday, everybody. Today we are live here from New York City. We're coming to you guys with a new style right now. We have what I'm calling an on-the-street panel. We have 4 people, 4 different opinions about the U.S. and Iran war. So it should be interesting. And we also have, we'll let you guys see the guests. We have a man who is almost bombed yesterday. Sunday, everybody. Playing with us. We got a friend by the name of Jan, a man from Iran, and Sweeney. Jake Lang, what's your opinion? Sorry about the audio for that first minute. So we're here in New York City. We have a
Jake
panel.
Lang.
It's a street panel.
Oh, Lord, not Jake Lang, the pedo. The guy that was saying, oh, Muhammad's a pedophile. But then here he is texting 16-year-old girls, knowing that they're 16-year-old, knowing that she's a 16-year-old girl, and kept texting her. I mean, it always be those who be like the most vociferous about their hatred who be having the craziest dirt on them.
And we got 4 different people, 4 different opinions. Jake Lang, you were attacked here in New York City the other day. Well, just yesterday. And now we're here.
I don't know, Nick, man. This ain't a good look, man. Bro just got caught up talking to 16-year-olds, Nick.
Threw up a nail bomb at me and my peaceful crowd of Christians that were counter protesting the Islamification of New York.
You're not a real Christian, bro. A real Christian doesn't spread hatred the way you do. A real Christian believe in the teachings of Jesus Christ. And all these wannabe crusader Christians, they're not real Christians either. Because Christ taught peace and understanding and trying to understand your enemy, not, well, wanting to kill them. And let's be real. Muslims, yeah, they're not y'all enemy. That's the funniest part about it. And I know what? I had a pretty crazy rant on Twitter about this as well. Now, this is pretty much what I said right here. I said, bro, 5 million Muslims and you're scared with over 1 million Christians. Am I wrong? Like, think about that. Am I wrong? Oh, yeah, make sure to follow me, guys, on Twitter at S.E.T Media. We got about, how much of you guys are watching on Twitter? 11 of you guys are watching on Twitter. Shout out. But yeah, I said 5 million Muslims and you're scared with over 100 million Christians. Let them have their super mosque. Because yes, that's what they're bitching about. They're bitching about a super mosque when we have over how many super churches? Okay, then calm your ass down and stop crying. Jesus, remember, freedom of religion. So yes, like, let them have their super mosque. We got a hella super churches. If you Christians don't start having kids again, then stop complaining. And honestly, though, like, you're talking about a Muslim takeover, but you're not willing to have more kids, and you outnumber these guys. So if they outnumber you at a certain point, it's y'all fault. Or if they outconvert you, remember, this is a freedom of religion state. So nobody's getting, forced conversions here. It's not happening here. So if more Muslims grow, it's only because you Christians ain't selling the message right. And y'all better be. But please, if y'all not willing to have more kids, stop the complaining. It's pathetic. If you're not going to take any action but cry and complain, bro, just stop. Just stop while you're ahead. Yes. But and look, here's some action that y'all can do. I'm nice enough to even lay it out for y'all. I said make more churches, bring more people to Jesus, and easy. It's easy. Now stop crying about Muslims, and Muslims believe in Jesus. So it should be an easy sell for you guys. If you really want to, get these guys over to your side and start taking these 5 million Muslims and making them Christian, shoot, just sell them the word of Jesus that they already believe in. It should be easy if you drop the disrespect. About as simple as that. And this ain't me. And if you feel, and if you're a Christian, this offends you, then toughen up, because this is the reality of it. Only 5 million Christians, only 5 million Muslims, y'all acting scared. With over 100 million Christians. Come on now, man. Don't do that to yourselves. But all right, back to
were you peaceful? You did bring a pig on Ramadan.
Yeah, but that's peaceful. What is that? It's the First Amendment, and we also brought a goat. Don't forget, Kamani's a goat fucker, and all the Muslims are, and that's why they need to leave New York City. They can't assimilate to the American way.
And here's the thing, bro. Thing about the Crusades is I don't know why Christians decide to bring that up like it's something to be proud of. The crusade represents everything that Jesus stood against, like violence, the taking of life, like everything that God stands against. And you guys championing it as if it was this shining example of Christianity when it was everything that Christianity stood against. God did not ordain the crusades. God will never ordain the taking of life. But the Pope did. It's something that man did. So I don't know. When people sit here and think of the crusades as this holy thing, I'm like, no, it wasn't. People were dying. And there were forced conversions in the crusades as well. Something that you were criticizing that the Christians love to criticize Muslims about as well. There was also expansionist Christian kings as well. But all we want to do is call out the Muslims. And I'm like, no. Let's call out both sides.
Life.
Because I'll even say this, what the Muslims were doing too was against their religion and it was against God's teachings. I'm holding the smoke for both sides. I don't care. Like a holy war is still a war. It's just you're just using religion to propagandize it. Like you're using religion to push it. And that's really against what God wanted. That's really against the teachings of Jesus, actually. But hey, man, if you want to do that, go ahead. But hey, shout out to the Gnostics. I mean, shout out to you. I actually like you guys.
And they're violent. They don't have.
Well, I like Christians, Muslims. Actually, I really don't care what religion you are. As long as you got good character, I really don't care. Really. I mean, you could be a Satanist, but as long as you like the nicest person ever, I guess you the nicest Satanist I know. I really don't care. We could be cool. You just ain't never gonna get me to go to any of your churches or ever convert to your religion. Just know that.
Have any type of ability to have interaction without escalating it to physical violence, and that's what we saw yesterday. They tried to assassinate literally dozens of Christians that were there, and even one of the bombs landed at the feet of the NYPD. It was a mass casualty event that we were spared from because Jesus Christ is on the throne and king of the world.
And what's your take on this war?
Well, obviously,
yeah, there was a kid that attacked them that pretty much threw like a nail bomb at him right in front of the police, by the way, which was idiotic. You know, while he was sitting there standing in front of Mandani's kid and Mandani's what was it? I think Mandani's house with his anti-Islam rhetoric, which I mean, like I said, you can have any rhetoric you want. But the problem is with Jake Lang, he's kind of slow. He's kind of an idiot. He actually thinks that he can sit there and have this type of rhetoric, which you can, but don't pretend like you're not inviting anything towards you. And then the problem is this man will get in your face about it. He's overly disrespectful towards the religion. I'm sorry, but I know this. Christians, if you support Jake Lang, then you're kind of a hypocrite. Because let's say there was a Muslim Jake Lang that did the exact same thing with the Bible. You guys will lose your shit. So please keep that consistency and let's try to respect all religions here instead of trying to have another reason to cause division amongst each other. Because this is what they want. And guys like Jake Lang, they're actors to divide the American people. Like, he's not a unifier. And bro's not even really a Christian. He's seen kissing the wall in Israel. He's not no Christian.
Foreign interventionism in the Middle East for America has not panned out specifically well, and we keep getting dragged further and further into them. That being said, I really don't care about the goat fucking inbreds that we drop bombs on, and whatever President Trump's doing, I back him 110%. We're patriots in America, and if we're going to go to war with those Muslims, they're bringing the war here. They're throwing bombs at us. They're trying to destroy our country. They're replacing the white Christians.
Bro, and this is the problem with guys like him. It's like, yeah, you know, not every person in Iran is in support of this war. Not every Muslim is out there trying to kill you. But if you listen to Jake Lang, you're going to over here think that, oh, yeah, it's okay to drop bombs on Muslims. I'm like, you know, they're people too, right? Like, and as a Christian, you should be heavily against that. But you see what I mean by, like, bro, these people hide behind Christianity to spread their hate. And you know what kills me? You know, the forefathers, like one of the forefathers actually said, founding fathers actually said something about Christianity, that it does bring bigotry and all this good stuff. And this is what they were talking about. Guys like him. And then the guys like him, bro, does Jake Lang represent all Christians? Are all Christians as hateful as Jake Lang? No. But it'd be fucked up if we framed y'all like that.
in America. So maybe it's time we bring the war to their front line and fuck them up. So I'm very proud of President
We've
Trump
been
for
bringing the war to their
precision
front. Hold
for
on,
that.
bro. We've been bringing the war to their front line. That's why they're here. That's the whole reason why they're here, you fucking dumbass. The whole reason why they're here is because of Western intervention, us dropping bombs on their ass. If we didn't drop bombs on their ass, they wouldn't be in America. To be quite honest with you, we wouldn't have to take in refugees from their countries. Actually, one of the reasons why one of these terrorists attacked is because of Israel's bombing campaign in Lebanon. So, yeah, this guy don't know what the F he's talking about. And usually people who speak like this don't even understand the history of it. Or the history of why Muslims or why, there's radical Muslims that don't like America. I mean, bro, have you looked at our history in the Middle East? Because it's pretty easy to see why once you kind of understand that history. It's like really easy.
Absolute execution that he's done, taking out the Ayatollah and everybody so far. Now that we're in the war, we need no more, dissension in America. We need to get behind our president, get behind our troops 110%, and wipe those fucking pig molesting, child raping bastards off the face of the earth.
Okay, and what's your take?
All of them? All of them, bro? That's to let you know, not all Muslims are bad. Like guys in the IRGC, okay, they're bad. Hamas, yeah, they wildin'. But you know what's so funny about those guys is that they're a creation of our own interference within the Middle East. And well, some of them are created because of Israel. Like Hamas exists because of Israel, really. Like one, Israel's not only funded Hamas, but they've created the dire situations and the tragic living. Well, I'm gonna be real with you, in the terrible living situation in Gaza that created Hamas. To be why, if the Palestinians wasn't living in an open air concentration camp and they actually got a 2-state solution, Hamas wouldn't exist. But because Israel stays away from that, because they recklessly bomb and kill Palestinians, Hamas is born. I mean, all terrorism is built through violence and aggression. You ask any terrorist while they're in the terrorist group, they're going to tell you because you killed my family member, or American bombs or Israeli bombs were dropped on my family member. Now it's fuck you guys. Like, if you actually listen to
them. So I'm probably not as extreme as like a lot of people.
And what's your background?
So my background, I've been.
Where are you from?
I'm from Iran. By the way, it's Iran, so a lot of people mispronounce it. It's Iran.
If people tell me it's Iran, I read it like Iran, so I apologize.
Yeah, no, it's fine. This is just to set the record. I've been here in the U.S. since 2015. So I've been actually on the streets of Tehran when the Green Movement happened. So I thought there would be some kind of dialogue with these people that could convince them to give us it's basic human rights. This is like the freedom of speech that we all enjoy here, right? That's it shouldn't be taken for granted, right? So that's what we were fighting for. I thought naively that we could ask that peacefully, and every time we were faced with more brutality.
So do you think it was a good or a bad thing that the United States?
I think it was inevitable. It was inevitable. I blame the people in the government of Iran for that, because they provoked all the powers, their neighbors, and they there was.
Hold on. They didn't provoke their neighbors. We attacked them, and then they said, "Yeah, we're gonna attack all the bases in the region, which includes their neighbors." And I mean, hold on. Did you really just say that the people of Iran brought it upon themselves? Like, bro. Well, I mean, at least he's admitting that majority of the people of Iran support the Ayatollah. So, I mean, if that's what you're saying, then I guess you're right. But damn.
There's no other end to this. I could see this coming. Unfortunately, they don't. The government in Iran, unfortunately, does not care for the people.
I wish I did.
They haven't built shelters. They haven't built sirens. They shut down the internet. So I just don't get it. Like, this is the time that people need alarms and sirens and notification to protect themselves, and they've shut down all means of communication. So that's my take on it. I think this was in the cards, so that was going to happen.
And Sweeney, what's your take?
Well, the first and foremost thing I want to say is a shout out to Nick Shirley for getting people who, I guarantee anyone who's speaking today disagrees on endless amounts of things. You're not going to find four people in the same room, especially people who are very opinionated politically, who are all going to agree on the same things. These are the first time I'm meeting these folks, and Nick invited us all here to have a conversation. And it's going to be a conversation where I can imagine we're going to have a lot of disagreements on. But that is what politics is about. It's about talking to other people in a good faith debate, trying to learn from them, trying to teach them if you think that they're wrong and you think that they're right, but in a peaceful way. And I think the recent events in New York City, and I'll get to Iran, but are an example of the antithesis of that, is you have folks out here protesting. You might not like their form of protest. You might not like what their words are, but you have to respect their right to protest. That's what America is founded upon, regardless of what side of the aisle they are coming from. So I want to give a shout out to Nick for that.
Yeah, and that's why as Americans, like, our heart hurts for the Iranians that was killed in the protest, because we're like, damn, that's one of that's like something we hold sacred, is the ability to protest our government. Like, we can never really imagine, well, we probably could imagine, but it would literally destroy the country if the government was literally turn their gun on protesters. After they do that, that's the end of the country. I mean, that's the end of the government. They're getting overthrown after that. I mean, in Iran, I mean, shoot, it's just another day.
As it pertains to Iran, and I'm going to mispronounce it, so correct me if I do. So Iran
Iran. Bro, come on now. He's like Iran, like an American. No, it's Iran. If you're gonna pronounce it correctly. If you say Iran, I mean, okay, cool, do whatever. But come on now, don't say it wrong just out of disrespect. I mean, Jake, chill, bro, chill.
Attorney, okay. And what I came out and said immediately is this was constitutional per the Constitution and the War Powers Resolution Act. Obviously, Congress has the power to declare war.
Shoot, I don't know, Chad. I don't know. To be quite honest with you, nah, there was something that was done. Remember, they froze all of the Medicaid and Medicare funding that was going to these places. And if they prove, if they go ahead and prove that they're legitimate, they get their money back. So we got to see what comes out of that right there. I mean, and here's the thing, if that's all they're doing, then a lot of these fraudulent businesses are already cooked.
But the War Powers Resolution.
But I will give you this. Where are the mass arrests for fraud? I'll give you that one.
Act in 1973 gave different levels of discretion short of war, which is this. This is short of war. This was no formal declaration of war. And on top of that, to the extent folks are arguing out there saying, oh, well, Congress has to approve it. Congress did. Trump apprised Congress 2 days after, 48 hours after these hostilities, and both the House and the Senate proved what he is doing. So it's completely constitutional. It's completely in comport with the laws of the United States. Do Americans want this to continue? Do Americans want this to portray?
I'll be real with you. Like, we're not even arguing on the legality of the war. The problem is that he popped this war off and it's not going good so far. So that's the problem. It's not like Venezuela where on day one everything was all good. Like, it was a scare going in, but really it was just a walk on the beach. Like, when we finally committed to the mission, it was just that easy, apparently, with only one person getting wounded.
Do Americans want this to turn into another Iraq and Afghanistan? I think it's an unequivocal no. I understand where the plights of the Iranians are coming from. It's an objectively oppressive regime. It oppresses women. It oppresses all types of minorities. There's no room for freedom of speech. There are no minority rights there, full stop. But as Americans and tax-paying citizens, should we be vigilant about another protracted involvement in the Middle East that impacts our tax dollars and our groceries and all the expenses that American households have every year? I think the answer is no.
Okay, great take, Sweeney. And Jan, you're Jewish.
Yeah.
You're Jewish.
I've been told.
Jake, I think a lot of people are saying that the United States acted on behalf of Israel for this war. Do you think the United States did come into, if it wasn't for Israel, they would have gotten into this war?
I think that's a complicated question to put it that way. I think the answer fundamentally is
a lot of people right now in the United
they're saying
States,
things like they're doing it Israel's bidding. It's interesting. So first of all, it's interesting how it's Israel's bidding when Iran says that death to America, death to Israel. It doesn't say death to Israel only. In fact, they funded a lot of Israeli dead, quite a lot. They've also funded a lot of American dead, and they funded a lot of regimes and a lot of terrorism. They say
yes, and I get that. We get that. It's been a tit for tat game with the Iranians, just like we basically funded Saddam Hussein to use chemical weapons against the Iranians. We sold, bro, the materials. You don't think they forgot that? And I mean, like I said, if we're just gonna go on it's been 47 years at war, then I'm be real with you. I mean, What was the point of even trying to negotiate with them with under the JCPOA if that's what Iran's always been? Well, obviously that's not true. Iran is not always we haven't been in a war for 47 years with Iran. I hope you know this. When people say that dumbass shit, I just look at them like, bro, I'm sorry, but a couple encounters, hostile encounters, that's not a war. What we're doing right now with Iran is a war. What we've had with Iran was a tit for tat game of you F with us, we F with you harder.
That up to at least a quarter of American dead in Iraq are from Iran-made incendiary devices.
Oh, guys, you have any question, comments, jokes, or disagreements? You can support the stream by sending a super chat, or you can go ahead and send in a Venmo as well. And if you can't do that, go ahead and double tap that screen and like the video, guys. Appreciate the support.
So the idea that Israel's dragging us into this conflict is ridiculous. In fact, I suspect Israel's wanted to assassinate the Ayatollah and other leadership in the IRGC because Mossad is deeply infiltrated.
Here's the thing. The reason why we think that we believe that Israel dragged us into this because Israel's been wanting war with Iran for a minute now. For like, bro, they've been talking about this for decades. So I'm sorry that, when Marco Rubio comes out and says, well, Israel said they're going to attack and we just got to follow up behind them or we're vulnerable. Well, that kind of proves that they dragged us into it. And instead of just telling them, no, if you do that, bro, you're on your own and we're going to let Iran know that you're on your own. Instead of doing that, we actually let them drag us into it. And they wanted regime change in Iran for decades. They wanted war with Iran for decades. And they've been trying to push us to war with Iran for decades. So the fact that we finally gave them what they wanted after they've been asking it for decades, I'm sorry, but excuse me for excuse me for connecting dots. Excuse me for putting the puzzle together, bro. I'm sorry, but it's just a bit too obvious. Hey, and shout out to my man James Foley. Long time no see, my friend. Good morning, sweet pineapple. Looking very good. So very nice. Okay, well, I'll take it. I guess I appreciate it.
Every aspect of Iran's terror apparatus, it's America that's been saying no. So I think Rubio slightly was taking orders. There's Islam built into Saudi Arabia, into Iraq, and to Syria. But Iran is the only place where actual clerics run the government. So they do not care about their people. Their people are livestock to them. So first and foremost, no.
And shout out to my man Galactic. He says, S.E.T, will you admit the Iran war was illegal? If not, why not? Trump is now a proper war criminal. Now, let me be real with you. I mean, according to the Congress and all this good stuff, he's within his rights. And here's the thing. The problem is nobody's really focused on the legality of the war. We're more focused on the outcomes that's happening before us. That's the main problem here. I mean, trust me, the legality of the war don't even matter no more. We're in it. We're in it now. Iran's starting to attack and we can't pull out. So, I mean, after the legality of the war, it's the outcomes that's coming after us striking them. And these are not good outcomes. So, yeah, and like Trump being a war criminal, not yet. No, I can't say yet. God forbid ever. But we can't call him a war criminal because so far we've been sticking to striking only military targets. Now, Israel, being Israel, is a guy striking, civilian infrastructure for some strange reason, just what they like to do. I don't know why, but it's just what they like to do. And let's be real, we're partnered up with a country where we have two separate goals. Like I said, Israel wants regime change, but this is what pisses me off about Israel. Israel wants regime change, but they don't want to commit no troops to Iran. They don't want to put boots on the ground to, invoke that regime change. Instead, they rather focus on creating greater Israel and taking southern Lebanon.
No, we did not come into this war for Israel. We've hated Iran for a very long time. There's also, I try to look at this from a global game theory, geopolitical perspective. Iran, when you steal a piece from someone's border, war is not chess, because in chess you take a piece off the board. It's not.
No, Galactic, you're right. You're right. It did turn out that America did bomb that school off. Well, bad information, not justifying it. This is why I don't like war, because tragedies like this happen, mistakes like this happen, and it costs hundreds, about 165 little girls their lives because of this one dumbass mistake. And this is why I don't want war, because this mistake never would have happened if we'd have just came to the table, negotiated, put them under a stricter version of the JCPOA, and we just rode off into the wind with that W. And Trump would have been known as a peace president. as he was low-key somewhat getting that title. Now he kind of just fucked it up for himself, which is wild. And yes, we do understand that. Yeah, once again, we kind of are going into war based on a lie of Iran is this imminent threat, and they were 2 weeks away from a nuke, which they never were.
That's zero sum. But here, Iran is 92 million incredibly intelligent, successful people that are fundamentally conquered and run by an Arabist-style minority government. So if you remove this government, you now have 92 million successful, beautiful, high IQ individuals who are marketplaces. They sell oil. It's one of the most beautiful countries on the planet. No one knows this. It's not Iran. It's not Iraq. It's not this desert. It's like springs and mountains. And
yeah, Iran's a really nice, it's a really beautiful country. I mean, so is Yemen, actually. Surprisingly, Yemen and Iran are really beautiful countries in the Middle East. And considering all the shit that goes down there, but he's a bit misguided on the politics of Iran. Now, he's thinking that, yeah, we took out the Ayatollah. There's 93 million Iranians that are free. Well, no, bro, that's not true. We got to understand the makeup of the population of Iran. Iran is, well, bro, out of 93 million people, 88 million of them are Muslims. Out of 88 million of those Muslims, 90% of them are Shia Muslims, which hold high honors to the Ayatollah. And then 9% of them are Shia Muslims, which they don't really get along too much, but they can kind of cohabitate. It's really about the whole leadership of who's supposed to be the leadership of Islam, but and other shit as well, other political stuff as well. But inside of Iran, they seem to get along. Now, the problem with him is thinking that, oh, well, when we took out the Ayatollah, we were freeing all of them. No, not at all. Actually, the Ayatollah's son's up next. And if we kill him, they got another guy up next. Like, trust me, the problem is we can't take out the Ayatollah without putting real boots on the ground and removing everybody who upholds this government. And that's a lot of people, because we got 1 million IRGC members to take care of, because they're one of the people that uphold that government. One of the main protectors of the Ayatollah is this Islamic Revolutionary Guard. They're not the Iranian Revolutionary Guard. They're not for the people of Iran. They're for the Islamic regime that's in charge. And they're 1 million strong. So we got to remember this when we're talking about the demographics and the population of Iran. Like, it's not what people imagine it to be. It'd be wonderful if it was like that, because if it was, they'd have been through a revolution a long time ago. But it's not.
Garden, it's really kind of a magical, it's like one of the cradles of civilization. We're talking about an open marketplace for the West. We're now selling our cars there instead of them driving these Chinese jalapenos that they're buying today. The oil, the natural resources from there.
You're very pro.
I'm just pro. I think the ability to take this regime and to convert it from this cancer that's dominating this unwilling people and make it into a Western ally would be such a crippling blow to Russia, but especially to China. And I find the liberals on this issue so moronically knee-jerk anti-Trump, because I thought you hate Russia. I thought Russia was the great Satan. Could it maybe be because Russia is white, or mostly white, and theoretically Christian, that they hate them so much? Because you would think if you hate Russia, so much, why not take their best ally? Iran selling them all of their drones.
Here's a problem, though. Because of this war, now Russia can sell their oil 30 days unsanctioned. I mean, bro, Iran can now sell their oil unsanctioned. And they've been trying to get this for a while. And it's kind of effed up because they're getting what they want while doing something that we don't want them to do. When under the JCPOA, we was able to get them to do what we want, while they also get to have their nuclear enrichment and all that good stuff. So it's and to get the sanctions off. So here's the crazy thing. They got the sanctions off while causing us a hard time. I mean, that's not really teaching them a good lesson. I mean, and look at Russia. Like I said, now they're able to sell more oil to the global economy. And here's the thing, how are we damaging them again? I'm very confused, guys, because it kind of seems like these guys are making money now, more money than ever, because of this war.
Isn't that where they're getting them from? So why not take that piece off the board? I thought you'd like that.
And so, Jake, do you think the United States came and did the work of Israel?
Well, the way that I'm seeing the war.
What's your stance on?
Oh, and shout out to my man James Foe. He says, shouldn't help them. They're not God's chosen people. Since they deny Jesus as the Messiah, their religious goals are futile and demonic. Well, God dang. Man, all right, James. He coming off the hip with that one. I like where you're going right now. Somewhat.
I have
'Cause
that.
a lot of people say you're a Jew on the internet.
I have an understanding that we
But
are.
I just don't like the fact that Bibi Netanyahu really disrespected Jesus, and we got all these guys that just love Bibi oh so much, but like you're not gonna get on them for no, it's just crazy. It's crazy. The same guys that complain about Islam and all that good stuff don't say shit about Bibi Netanyahu disrespecting Jesus. Crazy.
In many ways doing the bidding of Israel with the Iran war, but I also see it from another perspective. And obviously we don't want to send Americans to die for Israel. That's what like people are crying out, and they're being a little too dramatic online. It's like they're taking the anti-Semitism and like this.
Hey man, shout out B Hoops for reposting my video, bro. I appreciate that. Shout out to B Hoops on Rumble.
It's like we're not going to send our children to die for Israel way too far, because we also have interest in fighting Iran. So it's not like we're just doing it on the bidding of Israel. This is a terrorist regime. They're sponsoring terrorism worldwide. They've embedded, I mean, literally the ISIS terrorists that bombed me yesterday probably are funded and have ties deeply into Iran. So we need to understand that just because it's mutually beneficial doesn't mean that we're, being led like livestock by Israel into this war. I think that it is mutually beneficial, and to be able to crush them is to show Christian supremacy in the world.
Thank you, my friend. Christian supremacy. And the mask finally falls off. It's a supremacist movement. Just like white supremacy, just like Islamic supremacy. I mean, so you're no better than the radical Islamists that think Allah is all and that all of you guys should be eradicated. You're no better than them. He said it right out of his mouth. This is a Christian supremacist movement that he's trying to start. He's trying to say that, yes, Christians are better than everybody. They should be running everything. We should abide by all their rules. And you know what? There's probably some of you that agree with that, but I'm sorry to tell you that you would be un-American for thinking that. Yeah, you would be un-American for thinking that we should be a Christian supremacist nation and take away freedom of speech, because that's what it's going to do. I mean, people say that, Christianity, that's where freedom of speech comes from. I mean, bro, there's Christian nations where if you spoke against God and blasphemy laws, that was your ass. So I'm sorry, but freedom of speech isn't a Christian thing. I mean, just to be honest with you, it's not something that Christian, that I'm gonna be real with you, that Christian kings ran with. Let's be honest. Actually, our founding fathers left the Christian nation that was being authoritarian towards freedom of speech and freedom of religion to create this great country here. So to sit here and talk about Christian supremacy stands against everything our founding fathers stood on.
Basically fomenting from activism and the culture shift that we've seen in England and America through activists and leaders like Tommy Robinson. Nick, when you exposed the Somali Muslim daycare fraud, when we went to Dearborn and showed how violent and non-assimilative these people are, all of that was the culture and street war. Now the natural progression is for the most Christian country, the most dominant country in the world, to blow up the Islamic regime. It's basically a continuation of the work that we've started. Tommy Robinson on the ground showing these people are oppressive. They're coming to take over our countries. And now the way that I see the war is basically the kinetic version of this social culture war.
Like I said, there's only 5 million Muslims in America. Actually, less than that. It's like 4.2 to 4.8 million Muslims in America. And like I said, when you really run the numbers, you actually see how crazy these guys sound. So 5 million Muslims in America, and we're scared of that? When we have 80 million Catholics, maybe 30 million Protestants and Orthodox Christians. So basically over 100 million Christians altogether in America. And you guys are scared and crying over 5 million Muslims. And bro, am I hearing this right? Guys? Because this sounds pathetic. In all honesty, it really does sound pathetic. It's like, are you serious? That makes no sense. 5 million to 100 million and y'all crying? And if y'all lose, if they gain up on you, I'm gonna be real with you, it's because you weren't having enough kids and you wasn't selling the word of Jesus correctly. Because there ain't no way, bro. Ain't no way we're crying about 5 million people when there's 100 million of us to outnumber them. There's just no way. In UK, I can understand they have a smaller group of Christians, a smaller population, and they bring in way more Muslims than we do, and they bring in the most radical of them. So I get the argument for over there. But over here, come on, man. You just can't have that same argument.
That we have now been waging with the Islamists. Are they going to take over the West, or are we going to bomb the shit out of them? It's only...
Oh, man. And shout out to my man, Ham. He says, power to anyone. Yeah, power to anyone to enjoy your own faith, but don't create policies based on those beliefs alone. Whether the fairy tale you believe is Islam, Christianity, or Judaism, LOL. Well, damn. Hey, respect. He came for everybody. Respect. Shout out, bro. You came for everybody. I may disagree with you a little bit on that, but respect.
Two options. You have to mark your territory.
My man said fairy tale. Savage.
You have to show dominance, and I think that that's what President Trump's doing. I see it as that type of move, not just being led by Israel to go fight Muslims. No, we need to stop these people on their shoreline, show that America still got the brass and the balls.
Brother, the reason why they're here on our shorelines is because we went out there and bombed a country to smithereens. That's the reason why they're here. I hope you know this. But guys like Jake Lang don't understand that, obviously.
To stand up against radical Islam. So I'm very happy with that side of it, showing that we're not afraid to go kinetic, to put our boot down and say, fuck you, get out of our country, and we'll bomb the shit out of your country if we need to. That being said, it is very beneficial to Israel, and a lot of people are saying that, you know, Netanyahu.
Here's the thing. I never heard Jake Lang speak in long form on his opinions. And yo, bro, Christian supremacy. We need to bomb all these Muslims. I mean, yo, ain't no way you're a Christian. You think this guy represents what it means to be a good Christian. I'm sorry. He's not even a Christian. I can't even call this man a Christian. He's too bloodthirsty, to be quite honest with you.
Israeli deep state, the Jeffrey Epstein black pedophilic ring is
nothing says the third temple will be a physical building. They want to rule the world and subject everyone to their will. That's the third temple, to enslave the goys. Yes, I ain't gonna lie, that's low-key somewhat true. That's part of it. And of course, like guys, there's also something too that we're missing. The Alexa Mosque, the Dome on the Rock. If you don't know what the Dome on the Rock is, it has a lot of religious value to it. For Christians, Jews, and Muslims, that Dome on the Rock has a lot of historical value, a lot of biblical historical value. And trust me, I mean, I think even the Christians and the Jews are upset with this, but the Dome on the Rock is, well, there's a mosque built around it. Yes, it's called the Alexa Mosque. It's one of the most holiest sites in Islam, and Israel's trying to blow that up. They want to destroy it and bring in the third temple. And you know what? I'm just going to call it out now because everybody's trying to sit here and say, oh, the Iranians are going to accidentally blow up the Alexa Mosque or intentionally blow up the Alexa Mosque. And then Israel's going to use that to try to turn the whole Muslim world against them. That's just the plan. But what actually is going to happen is that everybody's most likely going to see through it. They're going to know Israel bombed the Alexa Mosque. And bro, I'm going to be real with you. That's going to be problems that we're not ready for. That's a mosque that all Muslims hold sacred, Sunni and Shia. So all of them are going to start crashing out over this mosque. And if you're going like, well, Sid, why would they do this? This is why they're radicals, bro. If we start taking out all the oldest churches in Christian history, start taking out all of the sites that Jesus, like the cave that Jesus arose from, imagine if we blew that shit up. Can you imagine the outrage among Christians that would happen? And rightfully so. So yes, I want you to guys think about if your most holy site got blown the fuck up, and what would you do? Well, that's what the Muslims are going to do times 10.
Using their influence to draw us into a war that will be very beneficial for Israel. Two things can be true at the same time. They're not mutually exclusive. We will benefit by blowing those boat fuckers out of the water.
Jake raised an interesting point. We've now come to a form of like IDS, Israel derangement syndrome, where the idea is if it benefits Jews or Israel, it's bad. Even if it benefits me, there's garbage in the shrimp. But if we clean it, the Jews will like it. We got to leave it. Like, this is the thought process. It's moronic. Yes, it benefits Israel. And as, by the way, might I add one other interesting thing. Talk about model ally. England, 2 paralyzed based Muslim population. France, 2 paralyzed based Muslim population, and buying oil through Iran. But guess what? When we needed help.
Oh no, here's the thing though. And I don't like to disrespect the Muslims because I mean, well, one, like I said, freedom of religion. 2, yeah, I mean, y'all pretty disrespectful to the people that pretty much sell us, you know, that keeps our energy market afloat. Like the reason why we get cheap energy and all this good stuff is because of a whole bunch of Muslims, by the way. And yeah, your favorite AI stock is funded by, yeah, guess what? A whole bunch of Muslims. So I don't know. I mean, Muslims are doing more for us than, well, not to be a dick, but Israel. I mean, shoot, the Muslim countries are doing way more for us than the Jewish state. I'll tell you that.
Israel's there. And in a future conflict with China, for instance, could you imagine the other countries saying no? Very easily. Could you imagine Israel saying no? Quite less likely. So, yes, at some point, yes, it benefits Jews. Oh no, so we can't do it now. Yes, it benefits Israel because Iran is fixated on eliminating them first before eliminating the United States. However, that said, you cannot have people like this have a nuclear weapon. They're mad. They're madmen. They're not.
See, in the irrational like thinking of, well, the Iranian government. Actually, let's be real. They had a fatwa, which is a religious law in Iran in 2004. Yeah, 2004, I believe, is when Khomeini enacted it. That pretty much said that they cannot go towards a nuclear weapon because it is inhumane, and they got a really good point with that. I mean, really. And they haven't went towards one since, and they've had a nuclear program since the 50s, guys. So, I mean, and how long? And the Ayatollah has been in power, since this 1979, since the revolution. So they've had all this time to go towards a nuclear weapon, but they never did on the religious belief that it is inhumane. So when people says, oh, they were going to get a bomb and they were going to use it, I mean, bro, if they were going to get a bomb, they would have did that decades ago. I mean, because of their religion is the only reason why they don't have a bomb. I mean, honestly, maybe if that man Kim Jong-un was a Muslim, he wouldn't have built a bomb either. Maybe, but when we know that guy don't believe in God. That guy probably thinks he is a god.
North Korea, they're not a hermit kingdom. They're eschatological Muslims. They want to bring about the end of days. And you think benefits Jews?
Want to bring about the end of the really? They want to bring about the end of days. So what about the Christian Zionists who literally want to destroy the Alexa Mosque so they can, the Jews can build the third temple, thus bringing in the Antichrist, bringing in the end of days. Are you serious, brother? Like, bro, Jews, authentic Jews, Christians and Muslims, well, really just Christians and Muslims are waiting on the return of Jesus Christ, which is actually hilarious about him. That's why I never understood the beef, because I mean, y'all both waiting on the same thing, both waiting on this guy Jesus to come back. Like, y'all both waiting on it. So it is kind of funny how these two like are so upset with each other, Christian and Jews. This is why I know it's manufactured, because I'm just like, you two should be getting along the most, considering that you both believe in the same Abrahamic God. So basically the same God. You both actually, you both believe in the Torah and the Old Testament and the New Testament, and you both believe that Jesus is going to come back. Where's the beef again? Because it sounds like y'all just being petty at this point.
Fuck it up.
And you still have family that live in Iran?
Yes.
And what were they saying when the bombs started dropping?
Oh, and shout out to my man James Foley. Says what we're missing is there is a 6 country. Yeah, well, hold on. He says what we're missing is there are 6 countries in the world without a Rothschild central bank, and somehow they're all enemies of America. We've been fooled. No, that's true. Any country that don't operate within our central banking system or our petrodollar empire, we go after them, and we gonna make sure they are part of our petrodollar empire, or else you lose your regime. I mean, that's the whole reason why Iran don't like us in the first place. As soon as they try to naturalize their oil and make more profits for their own people because it was getting ripped off by us in Britain, we tried to overthrow them. Bruh. And then with the Shah, like, bro, we got involved with the Shah. We told him, look, even though you can't afford it and you're going to have to screw your own people about it, we need you to buy some of our weapons. And he did, even though it was hurting his own people. He had to steal from his own people to buy these American weapons. And you wonder why they hate us.
I mean, obviously everyone's worried, but I talked to a lot of young people.
So a lot of people are saying, like, you saw, for instance, when we captured Maduro, Venezuelans were celebrating, but people here in the streets of New York City were protesting. What was the real reaction from the people in the streets?
So in Iran, as I said, right now, there's no freedom of expression. So people can't really express how they feel openly, right? So that,
I mean, yeah, they kind of can. I mean, Iran was having protests until the protesters start shooting back at him and start having machetes and hacking up police officers. Yeah, you didn't know that? Yeah, out of the what was it, 5,000 to 6,000 police, I mean, not police officers, but protesters.